One man on a mission. Between him and his own body fat. Armed with his quick pen, 5 milligrams. A new dawn on the horizon.
Good morning. That was all a little bit dramatic, wasn't it? Why have I done that? Because this is a new era, the dawn of a new beginning with me on my Mounjaro. And I just wanted to make it a bit dramatic. I don't know why, but here we are. That new era is me pressing the reset button on my Mounjaro journey. And I've made a total turnaround in how I've approached the use of Mounjaro. If you've looked at my previous videos on My Life's Toil, which is the channel here where we have really good support and lots of people involved, people that watch and have got some experience of using these weight loss injections. And we've got a great community where we all support each other. And that's what has led me today to be starting again after having a little break. We're on about day 104, I think it is, of my journey. It's Sunday morning here. I was due to get this done yesterday, but I've taken the extra day just to prepare myself really and set everything up basically in my mind, just so I've had the extra 24 hours. But the plan now is to move forward with the Mounjaro, but I am going to be splitting the doses, something I have said that I never really would look at, wouldn't sort of support. But with the support from people out there, notably Rob Moore, who has supplied me with some information, and many other people that have been commenting and messaging me saying that splitting the doses, microdosing, whatever you want to call it, works. And there's a lot of evidence to support this. This week I've been talking to some colleagues, some medical people, one pharmacist who wasn't too au fait with the split dosing regime, but the doctors that I've spoken to don't see why not. I'm not going to be overdosing as such. All I'm going to be doing is staying on my 5 milligram doses, but taking it twice a week with a 72-hour minimum break in between. Just over the 7 days, I will be having 2 lots of 2.5s, and that starts today.
I just wanted to drop this slide in here that Rob Moore again sent me this week, and some of the information that I've had from Rob and some of the others has been superb. But this graph in particular rang out to me, and this is why Rob sent it, because it compares the 5 milligram once weekly to the 2 lots of 2.5s every 3.5 days. So that's twice weekly. So if we look on the left side, the blue graph there, the peak is of 7.15 in the system, obviously, when you've built up to that from using the Mounjaro, with a low of 3.62 of tirzepatide in the system. They compared with the 2 lots of 2.5, the peak will be somewhere along the region of 6.22 milligrams, which is a 13% drop on the 7.15, and the low is actually a 34% increase on the 3.62 at 4.85 milligrams. So I'm looking, by spreading the 2 doses out every 3.5 days or 3 days, or at least 72 hours is what we're looking for, isn't it? For me, I appreciate that the full impact of the tirzepatide won't be quite as strong with the helping with food cravings and things like that, but what I'm looking for more is a reduction in the side effects that I've been having, or certainly the side effects that have been adding towards my just generally feeling unwell. So I wanted to show you this graph here because I think it's really important. So thank you again, Rob, for sending this through to me. And also wanted to say thank you to those people that have been talking a little bit about the split dosing for a while now and saying how well that it's worked for them. Yeah, I have stuck quite rigidly to the actual official plan, but I think now's the time to give it a go. So thanks, guys. Moving on.
Now, I've had a really good week. How many days has it been? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, 10, 11 days since I last jabbed. So the food noise came back, the cravings have been there, but I've managed really well to stick to my calories. Having said that, there has been a change in the weight in the wrong direction. Now, last week, as you know, I hit my initial target of 17 stone, which was 107.8 kilos, 238 pounds. I've actually put a smidge on this week. So I'm just over 17 stone. It's about 17 stone, 2 pounds, about 108.2 kilos, I think it was. If I'm totally honest with you, I've not taken a lot of notice of this week's weight because talking about how the week's been, I still mean to get some of this on camera for you because I've been doing my resistance training a lot more this week. I've rigidly stuck to plan and I've been training on a day, having a day's break, training again, and I do full body workout just with dumbbells on the bench that I've got. And I promise today I will get some of that on camera because I've taken a little bit of information from many sources, some from people out there that have commented and given me some good advice, and some of the links that have been sent as well to look at. So any of the exercises you see me doing when I put this video out, hopefully later today, certainly in the next couple of days, it's none of mine, but it's what I think will suit me. It's not about building muscle up, or it's about basically burning the calories and toning up and trying to make sure that I don't lose that muscle mass that we've talked about on so many occasions before. This is why I'm not too disappointed with that little bit. It's about 2 pounds weight gain this week because I have put more into the training. Now, I think there's going to be some fluctuations. Apparently, when you read up on things like this as well, when you start to really get into this, you can retain fluids around where your body's sort of repairing. So I'm not going to read too much into this. This is a transitional period for me, like it will be for a lot of people, because it is known that when you do train, the chances are that if you're building muscle, you might notice a reduction in your body shape and size, but you might not necessarily, and we've discussed this many times before, see the weight change so much. So I'm happy with the fact that I'm still around the 17 stone mark. I still want to get down to the 16 stone. The training I've done is not like muscle bulking or anything like that. It is more about burning the calories. So that said, I've not measured this week, but I'll get back onto the measurements next week if that's okay with you. And because it's a new regime, give it like that bit of a break. As I say, I've done really well with my eating. I've not been over calories once this day, although the cravings have definitely been there. So I feel really positive for that, because it's something that we've discussed a few times now, isn't it? About having that, not only the end game for when we look at finishing the Mounjaro, because as you know, especially in the UK, we have a 6-month plan, don't we, according to NICE guidelines that all sort of medical personnel that prescribe this should be adhering to, really. But there is talk of maintenance doses past that. But basically, it's a 6-month plan, isn't it, where we see how the journey's gone and how the losses have gone and the suitability of the drug itself for particular patients, people have been over the 6 months, and whether you can then decide, with the advice also from the healthcare professional, whether you continue the journey or whether you're like, actually, this hasn't really worked for you like it doesn't for some. Let's look at something else. So, but getting back onto having an end game. Now, And I know I've discussed this before, the end game might also be, and this is something I've looked at, because when I thought, is Mounjaro going to cause me a problem, like I've looked at in the last few weeks, it might be worth just having it in the back of the mind. What if I was to have to stop this tomorrow? Do I just start eating chocolate again and give up and just think, well, that's me done? Well, no, that's not, and I'm hoping I'm pushing that. That's not what this is about now, isn't it? This is about being healthier, even if we have to look elsewhere. Now, I know there's a lot of people that aren't able to take the Mounjaro that watch this channel, and I think they just watch along because I try and be positive no matter what you're doing, even if you're not taking weight loss jabs, just taking some of the lifestyle, the healthy choices, advice, if we can. And I want to try and broaden to not just focus so much on the weight loss jabs per se, because the other end game is, and someone else mentioned this, I've had a few people, what are you going to do when you come to the end of your journey with the channel? And I don't know, to be honest with you, but I'd like to think that the direction that we can go in would be about just supporting each other with just being healthier, even if Mounjaro doesn't exist anymore at some point. I don't see me being on this for all my life. I don't think I could afford to be quite honest with you. And I know there's a lot of people in the same boat out there. So not just an end game for the 6-month period, what's going to happen at the end of the 6 months, and we're going to suddenly stop. But imagine if you had to stop it, like I thought I would be only weeks ago. So that's something to think about. And I don't know, I'm doing the split dosing from today. It still might not suit me. I still might find myself in a position where I'm like, do you know what, it just doesn't work for me. Let's go down another route. But we're going to find that out together, aren't we? So I'm going to do it in here, actually. I'm going to go and get my stuff. I'm going to count the clicks. We'll do the jab as we normally do, but today it's Sunday. Let's get on with it. So here we go. Hand wash at the ready. Let's give my hands another scrub. Get ready. So it's going to involve my Mounjaro pen, which here it is. It's the same pen as last time, 5mg pen. So this means after priming the needle, I will be counting 30 clicks to get half a dose, which will be 2.5 milligrams. Now I've already counted the clicks, and it only goes up to 59 from the 0. And someone says you count 30, so it's about right, isn't it? So the prime is 2 clicks with the needle on, and then I'm going to return it back to 0 and then count 30 as well. So without further ado, let's get this done. Alcohol swab, wipe. If this is you first day with your 2.5 milligram pen, you click this all the way up after you've done the priming to where it says the 1, which we'll get to, because you can still use this video. I've done plenty of previous videos, all my Wednesday ones. If you need to look at how to do it from scratch, show me doing the jabs. I do it every week for the people that come along and follow. So there we go. This wipe is for cleaning that little bit of a rubber seal there. And then we have the needle, which mine are always 4mm needles. Some people have 5mm needles. I believe some people have 6mm needles. That's 0.4 of a centimetre. There's literally nothing. Take the seal off, as I always say, square on, and then turn that, not too tight, but so it's sealed. Then this here comes off, and we keep it to one side because we're going to put that back on. This little plastic sheath here that protects the needle goes in the bin. And then we go to the prime position, which from 0 is 2 clicks to the long mark that's there. Bear in mind, I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. So there we go, the long mark there. That means what we're looking for then, and sometimes without even pressing it, you'll see a bead on there, but we give that a press, and I'll do that while you're at it, while you're watching, sorry. You should see a little bit of a bead there. Now, I did have a pen a while ago that used to shoot a jet out. You don't need to see a jet stream come out, but that's that. So I'm now going to count to my 30. If you're starting afresh, you're going to go all the way to numero 1 there, and that's 1 dose. But because me, with my new regime, because I was struggling a little bit, and I'm only on 5 milligram doses and have been for a little while, I'm going to count 30 clicks, which is half a dose that I'm going to do twice a week. If you miscount, start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So that should be half a dose. And let's show you that happening. I'm going to stand up and do this. Right, so here we are. We're going to go into my abdomen again. So let's get all ready. Make sure you're all nice and showered. If you work in a scruffy environment, you don't want to be all dusty and horrible, because you want this to be as aseptic as possible. Pens all clicked, ready to go. I'm going to go at least 2 inches away from the belly button, and you've got literally 4 areas you can go into, really. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, anywhere just into the subcutaneous fat. You're going to go in nice and straight, and you're going to literally keep it straight and withdraw straight as well. So let's go for it. And here we are. In, squeeze for that half dose that I'm getting today. Hold for about 5 seconds, and then straight back out. Then we're going to think of needle safety, sharp safety. The cap goes back on. That then undoes there. Why does it seem to take a while sometimes? And then in your sharp spin, pen back on, or pen lid back on, should I say. And then that's going back in the fridge. Right, so that's my new era. That's my new dawn. Let's see how we go with the half dose. So I've had 2.5 twice a week. My next one will be Wednesday. So that gives me 3 days, as long as it's 72 hours in between doses. And this is where things hopefully will change, work better for me, and see what there is to report. Catch up on Wednesday. I'm going to do some little workout stuff just to get people moving a little bit and just to give some ideas. As I say, with the workouts that I'm doing, these are from the information that I've got. They're not my ideas. It won't be perfect. So any gym instructors or PTs out there, don't criticize me. But hopefully it's working for me, and it might work for you as well. But let's stay positive. It's not a very long video this week. We'll be back on Wednesday to do another jab. We'll talk about how it's gone since today. We'll talk a little bit more about getting more active, and I might do a bit of shall I do a weigh-in on Wednesday? Let me know if you think I should do a weigh-in on Wednesday, or still wait until next weekend. I think I should wait till next weekend, because there's been a little bit of a gain, hasn't there, this week, but I've expected that with the few changes that I've made. Keep the comments coming. If you haven't already, give me a little like. And if you're new here and you want to see how things go for me on this new regime, give me a little subscribe and come along. It's great to see all the people still commenting. Really appreciate it. I think I've got round most. I've got so many to get through, but it's great just to have all these questions, comments, and the advice and support has been phenomenal. So thank you very much for all the support that's been coming through. Speak to you Wednesday. Have a great week. Take care.